This is what I'm going to be working on. Stripping some wire. I did about 6 rolls yesterday. They were smaller than this, but the same diameter. And I got my dirty little stripper over here. I'm going to show you how I make the magic happen. And then when I'm done, I throw it into my #1 copper bucket, which is filling up. Alright, we're going to start with this smaller roll first. Gonna do some stripping of wire. I did a bunch last night. This is what I have left. It's all single strand on the inside. Ran it all through my stripper, and now I'm bring it over here and strip her out. I had showed this bucket before, but it's getting full now. I would bet that I have about 30 pounds of bare bright in there. That's the skeletons, the aftermath of my wire brutality. So, gonna get working on that tonight. Got this cart from work. They were gonna throw it out. Gonna figure out how I can use it, because I want a cart that has a shelf that I can put stuff in. You can see it's kind of slanted. Don't really like that, but it's got 2 wheels in the back and 1 in the front, so it can maneuver pretty nice. It's got all metal frame on it with some nice wheels. So I mean, this part's loose, but yeah, I could gonna figure out what to do with that, because what I want to do is just put all of my melting stuff, my stove and all the condiments, if you will, on the cart and keep it all in one place, so I can just wheel it out and go. Cue the sassy music. Let's get to stripping. Hey-o! Normally I have music on in here, but YouTube flags me for copyright infringement or some nonsense like that. I'm using this kind of a new method that I saw Scrapping with Grandpa do. A couple things that he did that I didn't is he cuts his wires into a manageable length, where I just used to try to run the whole roll at one time, see how long I can make it. He also has one of these rounded knives, and that thing has helped big time. I mean, that's why I got so much done last night. So anyway, I cut the end off so I don't sit there and try to find the end, which is always a pain. And then I end up with that. Now, I gotta tell you, after doing this for a couple hours last night, I woke up and I couldn't even grip my hands. They were sore. But at $4 whatever a pound, you gotta do it. I got plenty of nasty copper from old motor windings that I can melt. But to get top dollar, especially with this economy the way it is, you gotta Gotta get money, gotta get it how you can get it. By the way, maybe this is an obvious question or answer, but what's the best way to sharpen knives like this? Do they have sharpeners like that? I don't know if I could do it on a sharpening stone or something. Maybe. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know. I've never had one before, so I don't know what's available. But this style of knife seems to be perfect for this. And she's still cutting. As Scrappy old Grandpa would say, this is all kinds of goodness. I really don't mind talking about giving kudos to other channels on YouTube. I mean, that's really what you should be doing. Supporting each other, help people out. Be a good neighbor. Be a good YouTube neighbor to other content wizards. Yeah, I think, let's see, the last time I took copper into the recycling place, they were paying, I want to say, $400.36 for Bear Bright. Yeah, sometimes, I don't know, that stripper kind of comes and goes as far as its effectiveness. Sometimes it does really well, other times not at all. But it's still way better than how I used to do it. I don't even want to think about how much Bear Bright I have melted in the last year. But I don't regret it. It's fun to do, kind of got me started with all this. You know, the good thing about melting, speaking of copper prices, like you got Bear Bright, then you got #1 copper, and then #2 copper. Like the motor windings that I pull out of motors is #2 copper. However, last time I was at the recycling company, I took one of my copper bars in and asked them what they would give me for it, and he said that at first it came up 99.9% copper, which I knew that would be the case. And he said he'd give me #1 copper price for it. So actually it makes sense to melt motor windings, because you're taking #2 copper and making it #1 copper. Yeah, you got propane costs involved, but this is a hobby to me, not a way to make a living. So I'm gonna melt something anyway. I might as well melt something and make it, what's the word? More valuable. It's a Saturday night. Brain's not working well. I don't know if you saw, but I did a refurbishment on a hatchet. Just got that video out today. That was a pain. I was really glad to be done with that, because woodwork is not my strong suit. And if anybody who really knows wood sees the finished product, they probably think it looks crappy, but it looks, for a hack like me who has no idea what they're doing, it's definitely way better than it was. fact, the hatchet's right here. No good lighting, so you can't really see it, but made my own handle. It was fun. I haven't hit anything with it because I'm afraid the head's just going to go flying. I think I did it right, but who the heck knows? Won't know until I sink it into some wood. And I just scraped my knuckle along this slab here. That felt great. I never used to keep Band-Aids in the garage because I never really worked in the garage. But now that I have been, I mean, it'd be crazy not to have them in your garage. Good stuff. Usually I'm doing something, well, in my opinion, more interesting, but this is something that has to be done. Figured I'd come out here and clear my mind a little bit. Seize up my hands. What was it, at the end of 2019, man, I was taking off work, thought I had stomach problems. I was sick. I was calling in sick. I mean, I was feeling like crap. Didn't know what was going on. Nothing helped. And one day at work, I get really dizzy, almost pass out, really nauseous. Go home and called my wife and said, take me to the hospital. I think I'm having a stroke or a heart attack or something. So she took me to the doctor. At first they said it was vertigo. And so I was on vertigo pills. I was on different kinds of meds for my stomach because my stomach was really upset. Put me on an antibiotic. That made me sick. Come to find out I had anxiety. So they put me on med for that, and that pulled me out of it. But so that's why I got into scrapping and melting metal. A lot of people with anxiety, I mean, your mind races about things. If you notice it, you can try to stop yourself and breathe and do all that, but I mean, that's the kind of the thing with anxiety is a lot of times you don't know you're sitting there freaking yourself out until you're freaked out. So what's good about doing this kind of stuff is it gets your mind off of it. My mind's focused on this. It doesn't focus on anything else. So if your stomach muscles are really tight, you're tense, you know, maybe you have stuff going on and you don't recognize what it is. It might be anxiety. With everything that's going on today, it would not be a shocker. I went to counseling. The counselor said I'm a shallow breather. Like if I ever concentrate on something, I'll just stop myself breathing probably to kind of steady my hands, you know. But I think I do that with a lot of things where if I get nervous, tense, whatever, I just stop breathing. Next thing you know, I'm like gasping for air because I haven't breathed in a while. So, yeah. So that's what I appreciate about doing this kind of stuff. And that's kind of why, if you've looked at the videos on my channel, you'll see that I'm doing all different kinds of stuff. I'm out unclogging culverts, and I'm doing some dumpster diving. Basically, if I find it enjoyable, and then I do it. And hopefully other people find it enjoyable too. If not, that's fine. But for the sake of my anxiety, it's been really good. I have a friend who has anxiety, and I didn't understand it. He'd never wanted to go out to dinner with us. There's things he didn't want to do. I just couldn't understand it. Then I got anxiety. Now I totally understand it. At least at the beginning. Man, I couldn't go to the grocery store. I couldn't go out to eat. I didn't want to go anywhere or do anything. And part of it was just being nervous that you were going to pass out over something. So you're basically you're making yourself nervous about being nervous, which is so classic. So the only reason why I'm saying all that is because if you happen to be feeling that way, do something about it. And realize you're not alone. There's so many people that suffer from anxiety, and even more so now with our government running wild and economies going down the crapper. There's a lot of things that you could get anxious about. So put your mind towards something. Don't be on your phone that much, except for when you're visiting Skull or Metals on YouTube. You listen to all the people out there. Nobody speaks from the heart. They speak with an agenda. So the news is toxic. Absolutely toxic. They want you to be so freaked out about whatever they want you to be freaked out about. And unfortunately, they've been very successful at doing that over the last couple of years. Oh, so speaking of which, what I was going to tell you is I found out that I had anxiety in January of 2020. And if you remember, COVID hit in February of 2020. So here I am all freaked out about life, and then everybody goes on a scare campaign within the government and the media. And so that was a trip. But that's all right. Man, this should be easier than this. It's like one little spot gets hung up and then the rest won't come off. I'm getting a lot here though. I had a Sculler Metals poster printed off, so I'll be getting that over my workbench tomorrow. Got some hoodies, pullover hoodies and zip-up hoodies in, some t-shirts. I got some winter beanies, long sleeve shirts. So I don't have a storefront for all that stuff, but when people ask, we make arrangements. All right, I think I'm gonna sign off here. Hope it wasn't too boring, but kind of wanted to show you my stripping process. Yeah, I'm only a part-time stripper, you know. And I do it for the money, of course. Finally, the weather's supposed to be up into the low to mid 40s. Maybe the high 40s tomorrow, but low to mid 40s all next week. Seems crazy, man. I mean, give me 55 degrees and I'd be thrilled. You can open the garage door, have some tunes going, melt some metal. Without freezing. Geez, I want to say the last 3 melts I did was indoors in my garage here. That's no fun. Oh man, really need a different wire stripper. It actually works good with multi-strand wire, but one, single strand wire like this, I mean, you have to put the tension on so high that sometimes the wire won't even run through the machine. Oh man, I'm gonna be crippled when this is all said and done. My hands. All right, I'll turn this off. Maybe we'll see how long I go. If I get all this done tonight or not. Maybe if so, I'll check back in. Can give you an update on how full my 5-gallon bucket is. So we'll chat with you later. Scrapping wire as I'm watching Post 10 Unclog a Drain on YouTube. Why not? Not a drain, a culvert. Massive culvert. And the way he's shoveling, I'm telling you right now, I would have been tired a long time ago. Freaking tired, man. Alright, I'm done with stripping all that wire. The bench is clean. So, I'm going to throw all that junk away. I'm going to weigh this copper, see how much bare bright I have. Alright, 38 pounds. Minus the bucket, we'll say it's 35 pounds of bare bright. Thanks to the hard work of my stripping device. Bow, chicka, bow, bow.